Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being with us here this evening. I am calling to order this Court of Common Council hybrid meeting of Monday, September 26, 2022 to order. For members of the community, please be advised that this meeting is being broadcasted by Channel 96 Comcast, Channel 6032 Frontier, Hartford Public Access TV.org, and Facebook Live. Without further ado, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark.
Present.
Councilman Gale. Here. Councilwoman Hercules. Councilman LeBron.
Here.
Councilman Mitchum.
Here.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Present.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Here.
Councilman Sanchez.
Present.
Councilwoman Surgeon. Councilwoman Hercules. Councilwoman Surgeon.
I said present. Did you hear me?
Hear you now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Surgeon. You have a quorum, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Madam President, we need to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I apologize. And now our clerk will lead us on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Councilman.
You're welcome.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Now, Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. Through you, would like to make the motion that we approve the minutes of the September 12th, 2022 council meeting.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions of the meeting minutes of September 12th? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hercules. Councilman Hercules. Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon. Councilwoman Hercules. Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make the motion that we place on the consent calendar the following items. Item 3.2, communication from Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution requesting the allowance of alcohol consumption within City Hall for the Hispanic Health Council's annual gala on October 1st, 2022. Communication item 3.3, Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution authorizing the city to accept a grant of $235,055 per year over 3 years from the state of Connecticut Department of Children and Families, DCF, from the, for the Hartford Juvenile Review Board program. Communication item 3.4, Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution authorizing the City of Hartford's Department of Health and Human Services to receive a grant from and execute related documents with the State of Connecticut Department of Public Health. Reports of committee item 4.1, Quality of Life and Public Safety Committee with accompanying resolution authorizing the city to execute an agreement with Eastern Communications, Inc. to provide, install, and maintain the citywide radio communication system, which was item 3.11 on September 12th, 2022 agenda. And resolution item 6.1, introduced by Councilman Sanchez, Council President Rosado, Assistant Majority Leader Rossetti, a resolution that the Hartford Court of Common Council requests representatives of MERA to present and explain its plan of action for the closure of the facility. And that concludes the consent calendar items.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions on the consent calendar? Any discussions? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilman Hercules. Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon. Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make the motion that we receive the following items. A communication from Mayor Bronin, item 3.5, communication from the Quality Life and Public Safety Committee, item 3.5, concerning a resolution regarding facial recognition technology, communication and from the Operations Management Budget and Government Accountability Committee, item 3.6, concerning an ordinance amending Article 17 of Chapter 2 of the Municipal Code, which had a public hearing on Monday, June 20th at 2022 at 7 p.m., which was an item on the council's agenda of 5.1 on May 23rd's agenda, and a postponed item coming out of the Labor, Education, Workforce, and Youth Development Committee, which is item 5.2, which is a communication concerning Corporation Counsel making a presentation to the Court of Common Council in a public meeting regarding the City of Hartford's contract negotiations with the Hartford Police Union, and that concludes the preferred items. I'm sorry, the received items.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions? Councilman Mitchum?
Thank you, Madam President. Just a note on item 5.2, because I was a little confused when we got the agenda. It's listed as received rather than postponed, but the committee had postponed it to a later date, and then when that date came, they didn't hold the meeting, saying that there was nothing referred, which I guess was an oversight, but it is still a live issue in the LEWY committee, so I imagine we'll see it again.
Are there any other discussions? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll? Oh,
yeah.
hi.
Madam-
I apologize, Councilman LeBron. You have the floor.
Yeah, just for clarification's sake, and through you, Madam President, the resolution called for an update on the negotiations. It has, I have been informed that both the administration and the police union have finalized the negotiation. So I would recommend that if Councilman Mitchum wants to hear an update, that a new resolution be put in to articulate the specifics regarding the outcomes of said, the finality of the contract, as opposed to Corporation Counsel updating on negotiations. That would be my recommendation to Councilman Mitchum.
Councilman Mitchum?
I take that recommendation. I appreciate it. I think the nature of the resolution was actually just for representatives who had done the negotiating to be made available to answer our council's questions about what their priorities were going into negotiations, not merely what the outcome of the negotiations was, but for us to understand and for the public to understand what went on and what got us here, so we can have a sense of whether our representatives in negotiation are advancing the city's interests. So I take Councilman LeBron's recommendation, but I think I'll double check the language of the resolution as I wrote it, but I may just stick with it. But that's the business of the committee.
Is there any further discussion on the received items? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilman Hercules,
Yes.
Councilman LeBron,
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon. Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make the motion that we refer the following items to the mentioned committees. Item 3.1, a communication from Mayor Bronin with the company resolution confirming the appointment of Christina Corza Godinez to the Commission on Refugees and Immigrant Affairs to be referred to the Health and Human Services Committee. And that concludes the referred items.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilman Hercules,
Yes.
Councilman LeBron,
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum,
Yes.
Councilman Rosado,
Yes.
Councilman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilman Surgeon. Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to make the motion that we postpone item 5.1, which is Operations Management Budget and Government Accountability Committee communication concerning an ordinance amending Article 17 of Chapter 2 of the Municipal Code of Hartford.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilman Hercules,
Yes.
Councilman LeBron,
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon. Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make the motion that we take action on a report item coming from the Operations Management Budget and Government Accountability Committee, which is item 4.2. It has an accompanying resolution from the City of Hartford's Department of Health and Human Services to receive funding and execute an MOU with Catholic Charities for use of Social Solutions Apricot 360 database, which was item 3.1 on the September 12th agenda.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions? Councilman LeBron.
Yes, I'd like to, and through you, Madam President, I'd like to formally recuse myself from this item as I am an employee of Catholic Charities.
Duly noted. There being no other discussion on this item, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilman Hercules,
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilman Surgeon. Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. That concludes our business for this evening. Everyone have a great night. Thank you all. Good night. This meeting is adjourned.
Good night.
Good night.